Very well. So this is a data set for and the one public admin CA. So this basically is the list by the course lecturer for his test. These were the students that sat for his test. All of them in a particular department. I'm giving you a case. This is a real life problem that was solved, though much more wider than this, but this is just an abridged data set. So we have like 915 records, and it has a text score, and this was done by a course lecturer. Do you understand that part now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, I said this is basically the list containing this test score by a course lecturer. Now, this one here, without the CA as a name, the name doesn't really matter. It's just for you to understand the data set is. This particular one here is the real student list from the portal. Now, most schools, in fact, almost all the schools I know have a university portal or a portal, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the one from the portal. These are basically people who have paid. They have their matric number, they have their name, then all of this. So this is what the portal intend to use. Are you following me now?
Yes, sir.
Now, however, so I'm going to take it to one side. So this one here is basically, okay, I think let me bring this one to this side. And I will take this other one to this side, just so you see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this other one. Okay, let me take this one to this side and this other one this side. So I will just partition my screen into two, and you can do that by pressing your Windows key and your arrow key. So that will help you to partition your screen into two. So here it is. This is the real list of students who have paid. This is basically those who wrote test. Now here are the problem. The problem is that for this list, which contains those who wrote test, there are some people who wrote the test who are yet to pay their school fees. And then there are some people who did not write the test who have paid their school fees. So what it means is that this list of students with their test score is not very accurate. It has one out of the two issues. It is either there are some people who are here who have not paid school fees because it was actually conducted before school fees was paid. And then it's also possible that some students who have paid school fees did not probably sit for the exam, either for one of whatever reason they didn't show up or whatever reason the case is. So if we decide to make use of this list here, it means that we have two problems. There will be people who are legitimate students of the school who have registered, paid their school fees, but they are not here. It means they cannot write the exam because if we use this list as the right list, they cannot write their exams. Secondly, if we decide to upload, it means we'll also be uploading people who have not paid school fees, some people who have not paid school fees, but who wrote the text. Now, Amaka, do you understand the problem definition?
Yes, sir.
Can you rephrase it for me quickly?
Yes. We have two samples here,
Yeah,
and we have one that has a CA.
yeah.
And in here are the names of people that wrote the test.
Okay.
And the other one has both the people that paid school fees and the people that did not sit for the test.
Which of them? Is it this one or this one?
The one on the right
Yeah,
are
the
the
one that
people
has
that
CA, right?
yes, that sat for the test.
Okay.
Then the one on the left has the people that has paid both their school fees that sat for the test and also did not sit for the test.
Okay. Very good. So now here's the problem. We can't use this list. Why do you think we can't use this list by the right?
Because not everybody on the list on the right side wrote the test,
That's one.
and not everyone has paid school fee.
Exactly. So here is what we want to do. The task now is, how do I pick this test score and give it to the rightful owner? I mean, if I have to start doing, okay, maybe the lame way would be to select from here to the end, and then maybe go to sorting and sort out to Z. And then when that is done, it starts with 50. Then I can say, okay, this is 50. This is, okay, maybe I could also sort here. Go down to your sorting, sort it out to Z. And now, you see, there's even a problem already. I mean, this one is saying 50. You say, okay, so fine. I could now say, okay, this test score belongs to this, but I'll carry 10 and put it here. Let's assume this is the CA column, for instance. I'll put it here. I mean, I'll copy 10 from here. I'll type 10 here. I'll check 82. I'll say it's 82. I'll say, okay, 10. You know, just imagine that there are over 10,000 students. Just imagine that the record, it might not be student, it might be, um, a case of ghost workers. Maybe these people here are the entire workers, or let's say these people are the ghost, these are the entire workers. So we want to extract this from this. Or these are people who have gained their dividends, maybe in the banking system, who these are people who subscribe for the program, and I need to allocate their dividends to them, you know. So the problem now is how do I allocate this score? And in VLOOKUP, that's very simple. I could then say VLOOKUP, the lookup value, the lookup value is this value, the first one. I'll say comma. The table array is from here to this one down to the end. That is everything here, everything here. Okay. The ones that is done, I'll come back. Now remember we have lookup value, lookup array, right? Comma.
Yes, sir.
What's the next one I need to select? What's the next value that I need to provide? Column index number, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the column index number that I need to return?
1, 2, 3.
3. Very good. So I'll put my 3 here, and then I put my comma and I put my exact match. Then I can close it. Now you see what VLOOKUP did. It brought out the score. The good news is that I just need to go to copy formula and double click this to apply it across for others. As simple as that. This could literally be done in 5 days by a novice or 1 week. Now, this knowledge is important. Again, also note that on this list, you might see where we have error. There will likely be errors. Like here, it says not available. Not available means that they could not find a score for this particular person on this list. That means this person did not sit for the test. Right?
Yes, sir.
So we could also use what we have learned earlier on. Instead of just doing it straight, I could wrap the function of VLOOKUP around a function called if error. That means if it didn't work out, for whatever reason that it didn't work out, what I want you to do is I put a comma, say just allocate 0 to the person and then close it and do this. So the good news now is that instead of us to have errors, we're just going to have zeros. Whenever you see zeros, it's most likely that the person did not sit for the text. And so that's why I got 0. I could put 0, I could put not available, I could put did not sit for the test, I could put anything I want to put. But the most important thing is that I have been able to solve this problem just by using VLOOKUP. Okay, look at all of this, all of this, all of this you're saying did not sit for the test. Could I have used something else? Yes, I could have also used XLOOKUP to achieve this. Lookup value, lookup array, return array, and all of that. I could have also used index and match to achieve this. Fine, but all of them would work for me. So you see, one key application of VLOOKUP in solving problem is tremendous. Again, I want to recommend that once you get this value, copy it, Control C, and then paste it as a value. Paste it as a value so that the formula will disappear, so that just in case it won't get wiped out, okay? Is this clear enough? So you can begin to think of some of the things you can match. You can look, for instance, if I wanted to use index and match, it looks a bit longer. I would say index. I want this. I'm going to click on the header, this, and I want you to match it, match this person's matric number from this list, comma, and then I'm going to put a 0, and then I will then close my function. So I'll get 10 too. So index and match is still going to work. lookup is going to work. Now, this is not just used for matric numbers or IDs or primary keys. Well, it's best used for primary keys. I have worked with a cooperative organization, a very big one at that matter, on this same note, trying to allocate who owns the name to the phone number. Okay. So we can actually use name too to do this if we wanted to do it, although it cannot be as accurate as numbers, right? Because there might be two people who share the same name. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
So that might result. So most times we usually recommend you look for primary things, primary keys that are just traceable to one person, phone numbers, emails, NIN, BVN, numbers like matric number, staff ID number, account number, and all of that. So instead of just using names, because we could have also used names. I mean, let's try names now. So I could do VLOOKUP for this particular name, comma, lookup array is from let's start from the beginning. Lookup array from this other side. So I could say here, down to here, down to here, to the end, comma. Now, since I want to return, the column index I want to return this time is the name, right? Are we following now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I think there's an error already. So let's say we want to return, we don't want to use matric number in this case. We want to use name, right? So we want to use name to return the score. So I could say look up for um this, comma, that's the lookup value from this table array. So from this table array, I'm going to start from just these two, because lookup can, if you want to work with, if I want to use this as my base, I shouldn't select this source term, because this is my base. This is name and this is name I'm using here. Then I'm going to put a comma. Then I'm going to say return column 2, which is the score. Then I'll put my exact match, and then I'll do this. Now it's not available. Did we get the formula right anyway? Oh. So name sometimes can be misleading, but let's see. Let's redo this and see. Let's define our problem clearly. In the first instance, we use matric number to retrieve this. In this second instance, what we are going to do now is to say, okay, so let's do it here. I think this should work for us. Let me reduce this and let me enlarge this. So I'm going to say VLOOKUP. The lookup value when we used the matric number was this value, right? But in this case, we're using name, so I'm going to click on name. Like I said, name is not reliable. C2, I'm going to say from here to here, down to the down, comma. I want you to return column 1, 2, column 2, and then 0. Okay, so fine, it did work. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in this case, we use name. So you can basically use it to do whatever you want to do, and it would go fine. But name is not usually, but we usually recommend that you use things that are primary keys in nature. So that is one application of VLOOKUP. Now, having done this, let's move on into today's main class. We are going to be looking at something called validation, because it's something we'll need. We need a validation. So validation is usually found in the data tab. And if you get the data tab, there is something called data validation, cycle invalid data, clear validation cycles. And then there is also something called, but our focus is going to be on data validation actually. So why do we need data validation? Because in our model, we might decide to build more like a validation tab of what is expected on that column. And you see how that works in a while. Let's say on this list, I want to, let's say on my model, this is going to be like, let's say date, and this is going to be like month, and this is going to be like, let's say items that I sell, or let's say, for now, let's just do gender. That's the person who is buying it. So for date, I could do whatever date that is entered here. I could say, okay, do a text. Remember, I've taught you this, right? Of this value,
Yes.
and then give us the MMMM, which is the month. Now it's going to be showing you because there's nothing here. But let's say we enter, and of course, the good news is, please, before you start doing this, click on the column, go to your home tab, and then change this to date, short date. So here, if I say 01/01/06, that should be June. Now, if that's June, right? So I can now do text from this value, give us the month. Okay. 01/01. Oh, sorry. This is actually January I've written you. Right? It's supposed to be 6 here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you see now I changed to June. Can you see that? Change to June immediately. So we can now copy this formula all through. We can copy it all through. More like say, okay, copy it all through. Like let's say we did up to 10, for instance. Or let's say we have another date here. Okay, let me say I copy this. And here is 01, 007, 25, 25. And this is 01, 08, 25. Now you know this month is July, right? And this is August, right? 01,
Yes, sir.
01, no, 09, 25 and all of that. So let's say we are here. I can copy the formula from here and then it will give me the month exactly. So I've created more like a template. I've extracted the month from this. So this is like a model you are already building. This particular place, I want it to be like the gender, or this could be the product that I sell that I'm building a model for. So that when they select it, they'll be able to pick the model because I don't want them to start typing MIC or let's say is debit. Let's say this is debit, this is credit, this is debit, this is credit, and all of that. It could be items, it could be anything. So let's say here I have states where the supply is going to, or it could be state supplied to, or states supplied to, right? So I could have this. Let's see here my product. One thing I can do, I notice there's something behind this, is to now click on the header, go to my data tab, go to my data validation, and then I will use list. Now, list is something you intend to list, something that you intend to itemize, something you are going to enumerate. So I'm going to say, for my product, I sell, let's see, give me product names that we could write.
Flour,
Sorry?
sugar, flour,
Flour, okay. What else?
toothpaste,
Toothpaste.
body lotion,
Did you say Milo Choco?
body lotion.
Okay, body lotion. Okay. I was beginning to think. Okay, so let's assume we have this. These are we can actually have as many as possible. I'm going to click on OK. Very well then. So the good news is that once my whoever is using this gets here, he can click on the drop down, he sees all of this, so he can easily select. Now the good news is that he's not allowed to type in anything that is not in the product list. So if he tries to type in smoothie, I hit enter, it tells it the value does not match the data validation restriction defined for this cell. So if this is like your small model, people can easily pick what they want. Now, I have just used I have just used all of this. In the banking sector, this could have as well been debit or credit, right? Or
Yes,
if
sir.
it's a part of the valuation, if we're doing financial valuation, it could be something like credit, like a credit facility. It could be loan. It could be it could be investment. It could be just anything. It could be dividends. It could be ROI, return on investment. ROI. And then, so when anybody gets here, when you want to pick, you see all of this. Then you can just pick anyone you want to pick. And so for each of the term, you can say, okay, this is a dividend. And then you get here. So the good news is that for all of this, we have already mapped them out and it's easier. This is actually the beginning point to building your model, is that you're able to set up something that can easily be used across board without having to. So for instance, we are saying supply to, this could be list of states, and you don't want them because the issue with giving them the option to type is that it's a bit slower, and giving them the option to also type, they could type anything. I mean, somebody could want to type Lagos and just type Echo, even though it's supposed to type Lagos. Now, if you want to analyze for Lagos, Echo might not fall under the analysis because Echo is a different data entirely. You understand me, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but when you now say, okay, fine, see this place, I only want it to be this or that or this or that. Okay, on this column, I could say I want it to only be dates. So I can go here. Here are the blueprints you need to create your model. And that's what we are discussing. I can go to my data validation and say, well, I'm expecting a date, and the date should not be should be at least, should be, um, at most should be equal to or greater than or equal to the particular day's date. The particular day's date. So now here is asking for the date, right? So let's do this. Let's assume I've set up a date channel here. Let's say I do a date called today. I do a date, so this is today's date. And now I can come here and say, okay, for this place, anytime they are entering, it should not be more, it should not be more than, it should be a date, and then it should be greater than or equal to. I can click here, come to sheet 2 and select this. And then I can hit my enter and I can go back to sheet 1. No, sheet 2 here, and then click my OK. So now if you type in something like 01 06 25 and you hit your enter, okay, today's date, did I apply it properly? Let's see. I'm going to go to days and I'm saying that it should be greater than or equal to, okay, let's see this, 06 07 16 7 25. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. I'm going to click here 16 7 25 and apply it to all, and I'm going to do this. So let me see 01 03 25. Okay, well, that's strange. We're not supposed to be able to enter that value. So let's check what is wrong with that data validation. Date greater than or equal to, can we do something like equal to this date? Okay, maybe because we already have a value there, so I'm going to clear up this value and apply this. Now remember, you usually need to set up your model before you start working, right? So
Yes,
equal
sir.
to this date. So I'm going to do 01 01 25. Wow, this is losing the vibe. Let me see. Date. Um, these dates. This is the third time like I'm trying this thing now, okay? So we said the date should be ignore blank says no equal to this particular date. Well, maybe we should write our date should be equal to 160107. Sorry, 16. Let's say 0101 0105 225. Okay, so if I do, did I apply to all cells? I'm not sure. 01. What month did I choose? 0
05.
09 2025. Okay, so let's apply it and see now. So we're going to do contains more than one type of validation. Okay, so we're going to strip it of that validation. We're going to do, it should be equal to 01 05 2025. I hope this is not an error coming from mine. So let's say I put 01 09 2025. Aha, okay, good. Wow, what happened initially? So you can see now that it's not allowing me to type any date other than today's date, right?
Yes, sir.
So here are some of the things you need to create your validation. And of course, you could also at some point decide to insert chart object and all of that, but this is not part of your financial modeling. But what I wanted to say here is that you could protect your sheet and protect it and let it be that you can put on the password. Let's say I'm going to put on a password of 1 2 3 4 5. Once I've set up my formula and I'm saying that here are the things they can do. They can format cells, protect worksheet and its content of locked cells, allow use of this worksheet to select locked cells, select unlocked cells. I don't want them to be allowed to do this. Format cells, format columns, format rows, insert column, insert row, insert per column, delete row, sort, use auto filter, use pivot table, edit object, edit scenarios. So I can say I don't want them to edit scenarios. I don't want them to be able to format cells. uh I mean, what I'm saying basically is I want them to, so I can say I don't want them to be able to delete a row, delete a column, and I can restrict them here. I can actually use macros to restrict them even on more things that I don't want them to do. Select lock cells and all of that. So that way they will not be able to 1 2 3. Was that my password again? Oh, I've forgotten my password. So I can actually restrict them from changing this instruction that I've passed here by locking my value. So again, I've explained to you on how you can use your list, but there are many other validations we can look at. We could look at things around number, any value, whole number, decimal, time, custom. Now, moving from there, let's also look at this date. Now, this date is showing us 01/01/25. I would have expected it to be 01/01/2025. So what I could have done here is that I could right click, go to my format cells, and then go to custom, pick this one, and then add 2Y to it. So I have like full here. That way I'm going to get the full year out already. And from this I have set up, I can also get my month. I could get my year. So I could do text of this value. I want to get my 1, 2, 3, 4 out so that I can do my analysis when the time is right. So I can just know the year. So, oh, sorry, the dado values there. That's why it's showing this, right? So this is a basic setup. Now, when this get to anybody, it becomes easier for you to really use it to work. Okay, because in this class, of course, we have barely 7 minutes. Of course, we'll go into the next section if we can today. But let's just set up a small model. So we have already set up something. Let's say, um, okay, I think I need to mention this at this moment. Sometimes when we create big models, we create what we call keys. Your keys could be, this could be the product I'm selling. So let's say I'm selling milk, I'm selling sugar, I'm selling flour, I'm selling soap, I'm selling mayo, I'm selling whatever. Let's say these are all the things I'm selling. Now, if I create my validation like this, it means that every other time I have to go to this place and then begin to add more to it. So what is usually advised is that once I've done my list, okay, let's say I click here. Okay, no. So I click on the header, I go to my validation, click on data validation. Then I'm going to remove all of this. I'm going to click here, take me to the keys where I have my product, and I'm going to click on the header. That way, anything I type here automatically becomes my product. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to click on my OK. So now, if I click here, I see flour, sugar. Okay. If I click here, what do I see? Milk, sugar. So can you see them now?
Yes, sir.
Now, why this is important is because if I come here and I decide to add, let's say I add salt, and then I add noodles. If I go back to my sheet, I can click here and I will see all of the ones I've added. I don't know if you get the idea.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because my model, they call them model or your key. My model, okay, so let me change the names. Appropriately, we call them models. Your models or your keys, sometimes also referred to, is already on the entire column. So whatever you are adding on that column automatically becomes the product you are selling. And the good news is that I can password protect this column, right? So that people cannot go there to change it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I can password protect this column, but I don't want to get there yet. Now, if these are my product, this is like the let's say amount amount paid, or um let's say here is the cost, and here is the amount paid. Amount paid one, let's say amount paid two. Let's say you allow them to pay up to 3 times amount paid, or let's say these are months. So this is like, let's say, assuming this is January, this is February, this is March, this is April, this is May, this is June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So again, I can add some sort of formula here that total payments made will be here. So total is going to be sum of the value from here down to here. And I hit my enter. So I can apply this across all my cells. So I'm just dealing with these few cells. So let's say in January, the person paid 4,000 naira. Notice I have total of 4,000 naira. In August, the person paid, let's say in January, February, the person paid 3,000 naira. In March, the person paid 2,000 naira. In April, he paid 1,000 naira. May, he paid 500 naira. Notice that I'm having my calculation done immediately. So I am already setting a base model, a model that can be used for my calculation, for my analysis. So, and the beautiful thing is that, let's say, if these were to be names of people, let's say this is Amaka, this is Grace, this is Ife, this is like how much they are contributing, this is like Famous, this is like Chi Amaka, this is like Blessing, um, this could be what they are depositing, right? Or their deposit. So I could set up a base model. So in January, Grace paid 1,500. In in okay, I think I should just spell my name properly. In in January, Famous paid 800 naira. Um, and then in February, he came and took 400 naira. So notice that is now remaining 400 naira as my balance. Or maybe we should change this to balance. See how this calculation is going. So even if I save this and send it to you, this becomes a financial model. But although we are not yet into setting up huge model, but this is just the basics of it, is that you are able to automate something that works. You're able to automate something that works. It could be something that, okay, every day they come to work, they get 5 naira, and at the end of the day, you know how much to pay them. For every day they don't come to work, you minus something. You just have it auto-calculated automatically because you already set up a model for them. Notice how this is going now. So let's say Amaka did not pay again until September, then she paid 9,000 naira, right? You can see this. Now, let's assume that the interest they get is 5% of it. So this is going to be like 5% of whatever they have as balance. So that means it's going to get 1, 2. So I'm going to apply this all through. So if this guy paid, now this is also very perfect for something called in the financial sector, we call it, oh God, why is this skipping my mind? Fixed deposit. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this could also be fixed deposit. So let's say for every money that is fixed for a particular period of month, there's a percentage they earn. So if I fixed it for up to 12 months, there's a percentage I'm going to earn. So in this case, let's just say we can come up with. So here and then here he paid 500 naira, or let's say 5,000 naira. In November, he paid 6,000 naira. Now notice that this means that I have a total of 1,750 naira as um my my dividends, right? So this could be my dividend. This will be my dividends. So you see where it's coming up. This is a basic model. We have less than a minute anyway. So once this class ends, I'll just start a new section and then we talk briefly and we'll be done for today. Okay, so if I say, okay, this guy paid 9,000 naira. Now, so you can actually make your formulas and your functions very long, depending on what you are seeking to get. You can tell them, okay, this was how much you paid. This is your dividend based on this calculation. And it's done automatically the moment you enter your values. You don't even need to sweat it out. You just enter your values, you get an automation. This is a model. This is a model. So that's how simple a model is to create.